please place it in the overhead bins, either wheels or handles first, on either side of the aircraft. Keeping in mind that the overhead bin space is shared space, so if the bin directly above your seat is already full, please go ahead and utilize the next available space. If you brought in a second item with you, such as a briefcase, tote bag, laptop bag, backpack, you can go ahead and utilize that space under this seat in front of you, so that we can utilize that overhead bin space for your larger bags without having to check them plain sight to your final destination. Feel free to utilize your mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers while we're here at the gate. However, once we close our boarding door, you must please place these items into airplane mode or turn off your cellular service. So we'd like to thank you all for choosing to fly Delta. Welcome on board.
Brian, can you get our IFR clearance to Milan? Man, it's a pretty airport, by the way, the way they've got things.
I can handle that. I'll contact clearance for our IFR clearance to Milan.
Heathrow clearance, Itero 229er. We'd like to receive our IFR clearance. We have information, Juliet.
Clearance on request. Stand by. Itaro 229er, Heathrow clearance, cleared to Linate via the Maxit 1 Foxtrot departure runway 27 right. Initial climb to flight level 060, departure on 125.625 squawk 1715.
Pull down our flight plan. Okay. line the IRSs. Alright, we're going out on 27 right. Maxi. Max 1 Foxtrot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard ITA Airways, Flight 229, departing from London Heathrow Airport and heading to Milano Lennart Airport. Please take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you. If you need any assistance, feel free to contact any member of our crew. Thank you for choosing to fly with us today.
Alright, let's get some performance numbers. Okay, we're going to be going off on V1 149. V rotate, and 151 V2. Flaps will be at 1 up 0.4. Oh, what's from my format? Up 1 up 0.4, and flex is 7.3. Let's give me an ATIS briefing.
On initial contact you have information Juliet. London Heathrow Airport, information Juliet. 2050 Zulu. Arriving runway 27 right. Departing runway 27 left. Wind 180 at 9er. Visibility 10. Temperature 10, dew point 8. QNH 1009er. Transition level 80 advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Juliet.
Brian, you're in charge of all comms.
I'm in charge of comms now, Steve. Let's get ready for departure.
Brian, can you request our pushback and start clearance?
Requesting pushback and start clearance now.
Heathrow ground, it's Arrow 229er requesting pushback and start clearance. We have Juliet.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Start approved. Face south.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Some doors are still opened or the GPU or the ASU are still connected. I'm waiting for all of them closed and disconnected, then I will proceed.
Working on it. Just hang tight. We're looking for external power here to come over here to the APU, and that's when we can switch everything over. Bam, there we go. So now you have both of these, and let's get rid of that. And we're going to take off the external.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Take the chocks off.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Right, we're going to start engine 2 first. Ignition is on.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all call. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board your Delta flight. So in just a moment, we'll be showing you a brief presentation on the safety features of this aircraft. We kindly ask that you please direct your attention to the video monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a frequent flyer. Thank you so much.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta for 100 years and counting.
Delta. 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 Delta Airlines.
The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority and the shared responsibility of everyone on board. So, before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you.
Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured.
Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear. If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help.
As we leave the gate, fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down. Stay seated with your seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is on, and keep it fastened whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members' instructions, along with the posted placards and lighted information signs throughout the cabin. Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors.
There are 8 exits on this plane, 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a detachable slide that can be used as a raft.
In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind. Carry-on baggage
So
will
it's
slow the
disconnected and
evacuation.
bypass pin has been
All
removed.
exits
Hand
are
signal
clearly
on the
marked
right.
with the
We'll
green
see you
exit
next time
symbol.
and have a safe
Locate the
flight.
nearest exits, and remember, they might be behind you. If we lose power, lights will illuminate the aisles to guide you to an exit.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, oxygen masks will drop from the panels above your seat and inside the lavatories. Reach up and pull a mask or streamer down to start the flow of oxygen. Remove any face covering and place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note the oxygen is flowing, so don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case. Life vests are in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist, attach it to the buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom, or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level.
The takeoff
A water-activated light is attached to each vest. For children under 35 pounds, place the vest around their waist and secure
We'll
the
be
strap
departing from
between the
runway
legs.
27
See your
right,
safety
flying the
card
Max at
for
1
more
Foxtrot departure
information.
with an initial
Additional
climb
life
clearance
vests
to
for
flight
in-lab
level
children are in
060.
marked
Transition
compartments at
altitude
the
is
front and
6,000.
rear of the
After
plane.
takeoff,
We'll distribute
we'll follow
this
the
vest
SID
if
profile,
necessary.
climbing to flight level 060.
Before takeoff, bring your
Weather
seat
at
to its
departure
upright
shows no
position and
significant
stow your
issues.
tray table.
In the
Footrest
event of an
and
engine
leg
failure
rest.
below
Be
400,
sure you fastened your
we'll
seatbelt
continue
low
straight
and
ahead
tight
and follow
across your
ATC
lap.
instructions.
Carry on items
Above
secure,
400,
and
we'll
armrests
follow
are at
the
resting
engine out SID
position.
procedure,
Or
climbing
as
to
otherwise
3,000 before
indicated on the
turning back.
placard in front of
For any
you.
abnormalities or
If you have a
emergencies
suite
before
door,
V1,
ensure
we'll
it's
reject the
open.
takeoff and apply
See
maximum
placard
braking.
instructions inside
After
the
V1,
suite
we'll
door for
continue the
opening
takeoff,
instructions
handle the
in case
emergency,
of
and
emergency.
communicate with ATC.
Finally,
We've been cleared as
take
filed.
a moment to
Squawk
review the
code is
safety information card
1715,
in your
and
seat
departure
pocket.
frequency will be
As we finish our safety check,
125.625.
please let us know
We're
if you have any
configured for
questions.
takeoff with
As
flaps
we take
5.
off into the future,
V1
sit
is
back and
142
relax.
knots, VR is
And from all
147
of our
knots, and
crew,
V2 is
thank you
152
for
knots.
flying with
We'll climb out
Delta
at V2 plus
today
10
and
knots.
for the next
I think we're
100
ready to
years.
go, Captain.
Brian, get our taxi clearance, please. Welcome aboard, Venom.
Copy, Captain. I will get the taxi clearance now.
No. Brian, would you get our taxi clearance, please? Not the flight attendant.
I'll request our taxi clearance now.
Heathrow ground, Itero 229 are ready to taxi. We have Juliet.
So the co-pilot is actually Say Intentions. So I use Say Intentions.
Itero 229er, runway 27 right taxi via Kilo, Bravo, Lima, Alpha, Alpha 2.
And Say Intentions, I have a pilot monitoring that's on this flight with me through Say Intentions. He is AI.
Runway 27 right via Kilo, Bravo, Lima, Alpha, Alpha 2, Itero 229er.
But it's also interactive. So like when I say, okay, Brian, I know we're under sterile cockpit. Are you ready? Are you ready for us to taxi?
We're cleared to taxi via Kilo, Bravo, Lima, Alpha, Alpha 2 to runway 27 right.
Check. Also, flight attendant that you hear, there's two flight attendants right now. There's one that's actually coming off of the Delta Virtual Airline, but you're also hearing a flight attendant that is out of Say Intentions. So Say Intentions is a product that is used by thousands of virtual pilots.
Cabin attendants, arm doors and cross-check. Welcome aboard ITA Airways Flight 229, heading to Milano Linate Airport. Our estimated flight time is 1 hour and 45 minutes. Please pay close attention to the upcoming safety demonstration, which contains important information even for frequent flyers. Fasten your seatbelts by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and pull the strap to tighten. The seatbelt must be fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated. Please return your seat backs and tray tables to the upright position and open your window blinds for takeoff. Mobile phones and electronic devices must be set to flight mode, and larger devices should be securely stowed. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes are prohibited anywhere on board, including the lavatories. Oxygen masks will drop automatically if needed. Pull the mask firmly, place it over your nose and mouth, and breathe normally. Life vests are located under your seat. Put it on, fasten it, and inflate it only after leaving the aircraft. Floor-level lighting will guide you to the nearest exit, which may be behind you. In case of evacuation, leave all personal belongings behind and follow crew instructions immediately. If any electronic device becomes hot or catches fire, please inform a crew member. The safety information card contains all details. Thank you for your attention.
All right, so that's so far you've heard from Say Intentions. My cabin crew is virtual, with the exception of the time you hear the earlier fancy video presentation for safety. That is a part of Delta Virtual Airlines, and I fly for them. So this flight's an actual sanctioned virtual airline flight, and it goes by the schedule of Delta. But then, like I said, Say Intentions has a separate cabin crew, and so when you're hearing the one that I'm talking to, that's Say Intentions. So that's kind of three sources. The white directional arrows on the runway right now that I'm following to the runway, that's kind of my taxi assistance, is out of Say Intentions. So it actually does that. It actually has what they call progressive taxi. So it lays out, I can follow the taxi arrows if I just, especially on airports where I'm really not familiar with the airports. It really does help. We might run into something funky here. So I'm taking off from
Tower 229er, contact tower on 124.48 space flight.
I'm taking off from runway 27 right, but it looks like they're taking off from the other end, and that is because that's Traffic Global.
Tower on 124.48, id arrow 229er.
We'll take a look at it. Traffic Global's not always on the same page with, it doesn't talk to Say Intentions. Well, let's see, are they?
Tower, id arrow 229er. Good evening, holding short 27 right, ready for departure.
Yeah, so that's the other end. It sure is. So we're going to...
229er, Heathrow Tower, runway 27 right, winds 180 at 9er, cleared for takeoff.
Alright, so I think we're going to let the 777 go first before we get on this runway. What do you think? That is a lot of airplane, because we are actually taking off on this runway.
Right, cleared for takeoff, id arrow 229er.
Is there another one lined up? Yeah. No, we should be okay. We're going to take off on it. But anyway, that's Traffic Global. Sometimes takes off on the opposite-ended runway. Don't know why. There's an explanation. The guys from Traffic Global could probably tell me, but my flight plan has me going off on 27 right. Okay. Brian, go ahead and do the takeoff briefing.
We'll be departing from runway 27 right, flying the MAX at 1 Foxtrot departure with an initial climb clearance to flight level 060. Transition altitude is 6,000. After takeoff, we'll follow the SID profile, climbing to flight level 060. Weather at departure shows no significant issues. In the event of an engine failure below 400, we'll continue straight ahead and follow ATC instructions. Above 400, we'll follow the engine out SID procedure, climbing to 3,000 before turning back. For any abnormalities or emergencies before V1, we'll reject the takeoff and apply maximum braking. After V1, we'll continue the takeoff, handle the emergency, and communicate with ATC. We've been cleared as filed. Squawk code is 1715, and departure frequency will be 125.625. We're configured for takeoff with flaps 5. V1 is 142 knots, VR is 147 knots, and V2 is 152 knots. We'll climb out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Captain.
We are, but we're not. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I think that I would rather, so even though I'm cleared for this runway. I'm going to go back down and we're going to take off on the same end as the Traffic Global aircraft. I'm already configured for this runway. I'll just be taking off in the opposite direction. But I think that would be smarter. Plus, I get to kind of hang out with the other airplanes. I don't want to be a rebel. Let's just turn around here. Okay, there goes another one. Okay, so we're gonna go down here to the opposite end. Even though we're set up for 27 right, we're gonna go. We're gonna take off on the opposite side with the other aircraft because that's what Traffic Global's doing. I don't know what their logic is behind that because I think we're correct, but they're actually taking off on. Was that 09 left? Yeah, they're taking off on 09 left. Sorry, I'm waving. There goes another one. This is a busy airport. Like I said, this is the busiest airport in the world. I think the Heathrow. There goes another one. Most of those are either 737s. No, excuse me, 777s. So far I've seen 3. Larger aircraft. We're going to Milan. I'm going to drop some people off for the Olympics. Okay, I think we're about to. Brian, get our takeoff clearance.
We've already received our takeoff clearance, Steve. We're cleared for takeoff on runway 27 right.
Well, I'm about to get a. They're going to say I have to make a phone call because I'm not doing that exactly. Okay. Does it look like, is there an incoming one on this landing on the runway on 9 left? It looks like it's what he's lined up for, doesn't it? Yeah. Error Mexico. Cool. What are you waiting for? I'm not sure. There he goes. Okay. Usually they traffic global. That's one thing they have not bogged like caused a traffic jam. Usually they move. There's some logic to what they do. I've had global traffic as a traffic insertion that have like backed up stuff pretty good, or the just things not working exactly the way I want them to. He even turned his landing lights on right when he needed to. There he goes. Okay. We're already cleared, but we're just not cleared from this end.
Approaching runway 9, left.
Just kill the cockpit light there. Okay. Alright, we're on to make sure we don't get caught up in his jet wash. There we go. Alright. We're already configured. Landing lights are on. Auto brake is set. Ground spoilers are armed. Flaps are set to 1. Coming out here. There we go. Alright. 40%. Solid. Good, good, good. Alright. Forward pressure on yoke. Hey, we've already hit 80 knots. I didn't call it out. Okay. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Flaps have been retracted. Autopilot.
Taro 229er, contact departure on 125.625.
Contacting departure on 125.625.
Thrust climb.
Hit arrow 229er. Heathrow radar, Intero 229er. Good evening, climbing through 1000.
Taro 229er, Heathrow radar identified. Climb flight level 060, direct D223 hotel.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb to our cruising altitude, we'd like to extend a special thank you to each of you, and a welcome back to our SkyMile members and Million Milers.
Hotel, at Arrow
Your
229er.
business and loyalty
Got it.
are greatly appreciated by
Got
the
it.
entire
We're
Delta
going
family.
direct. Okay.
For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you also please remember to use caution if opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff.
220.
We've now reached an altitude where it's safe to use approved electronic devices, and a listing of these devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you. On today's flight in the economy cabin, it'll be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh eats items and all-day goodies.
I didn't catch.
Beer, wine, and spirits are available complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eats items, can be found in the menus in your seat pocket. Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks.
Arrow 229er, contact
However, you
London
can use your
Control
Delta Sky Miles American Express
120.18.
card to save 15% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases. For your enjoyment, each seat is equipped with your own personal
Switching to
entertainment
London
system.
Control on
On it, you can
120.18
view a
at
selection
Arrow
of complimentary
229er.
as well as on-demand TV shows, movies, and music. You will find that this screen
London
will work
Control,
best with
Arrow
a light tap of
229er.
your
Good
fingertip.
evening, climbing through flight level 080
Feel free to use
for
your
flight
own
level
headset.
220.
Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flight.
Arrow 229er, London Control, climb flight level 220.
22. I got that.
Climbing flight level
220.
220 at Arrow 229er.
220. And landing lights are off.
Dear guests, we are now in the air and the use of approved electronic devices is permitted in flight mode. Our cabin service will begin shortly. Thank you for your attention.
Okay. And we're on track. We're on track. We had to, because the way our flight plan was set up, we were allegedly coming off of 27 right, and remember it turned out to be 9 left, so when we took off on 9 left we had to go all the way, turn around to come back to our flight plan.
Tower 229er, climb flight level 290.
You said 290. That is our flight. That's our flight level. Okay, good. Good. So we're already switched over, transitioned over to our altimeter settings on standard, and we're all landing lights are off, and we're just settling in. Okay. What I love, the level, I pay attention to detail. So these here, that's detailed to me, because the flight model even models these, because I have the no smoking and and seat belts required right now, both on, and they show up. If I go take them off, like if I take off seat belts here, now like go back to the cabin. Oh, maybe I lied. Maybe it did pick up on that. Or did it? Okay, I lied. They didn't. It does not work. Okay, I thought it did. Okay, well, yeah. It looks like it's still lit, like seatbelts are required. So, yeah. Okay, so I lied. It works on my X-Crafts, E175. Okay, I thought it worked on this one. Right, we're at 17,000 climbing to 29,000. No smoking sign is on and seatbelt light is off. Speed brakes are off and ground spoilers, everything is disarmed. Ignition is off, doesn't have to be on. So we're just going to be climbing until we get to 29,000. We are 521 miles from our destination and we're just going to chill, okay? The outside illumination is, I think, amazing. I think that's one thing that Laminar has down compared to, like, you want to compare it to Microsoft. Microsoft can make theirs look bright and shiny, but I think this looks more realistic. It looks like what it really looks like if you're outside, if you're up this altitude at this time of the night. So they do a better job of portraying it. Let's see how many Traffic Global planes are around us right now. Traffic Global, we're going to look at the radar. Woo! That's a lot of planes. So all these are Traffic Global planes. I can click on them actually too. It'll show me where they are. Like that one's on the ground. How about this one? There's another one on the ground. So there's a lot that are parked. Oh, I can take off the parked ones. I don't want those. There's a Norwegian. So I can actually do that. I can, like, from Traffic Global, I can pull up the radar map and see where they are, just for giggles. Turn the lights on there. So what are we going to do now? I'm going to get some coffee. Alright. We've got well, I can actually pull up how much we have here. So on the McDo, or on the flight management computer here, it tells you, because when you, that number right there, the distance, that's the distance that this plane will fly before it gets to a runway. Now technically speaking, we're closer than that. We're actually, it says here we're 500 miles. So I don't understand the discrepancy, except that there must be a crazy transition we have to make to get there, but I guess we'll see. So as we get closer, we'll be able to tell a little bit. It'll be easier to see. Right. Right. Go get your favorite drink. I'll be back.
Captain, we have a passenger refusing to sit down. It started shortly after the snack service began when they expressed discomfort and requested to move around. I approached them to address their concerns, but they are now insisting on standing in the aisle despite the seatbelt sign being off. I'm currently trying to calm them down and encourage them to return to their seat.
Taro 229er, contact Paris Control on 128.875.
Paris Control, Ataro 229er. Good evening, maintaining flight level 290.
Ataro 229er, Paris Control, good evening, identified.
All right, we're still 512 miles out, so it's not a short flight. Let's see. Those clouds look so good. I hate to belabor the point, but they really look good. They look like they're supposed to. It's good. Okay, I see why. So, I am 378 miles from Milan, but I can't go direct to Milan. Otherwise, yeah, it would only be 376 miles. I have to follow the arrival route. By the time I follow the arrival route, it's added 125 miles to my flight. So it's just how it is. You got to follow the arrival. Can't go off-roading. Got to stay on the highway. These seats aren't real fancy on this aircraft. They spent less time on them, and I'm okay with that. So they're not as the interior's not quite as fancy, but the lighting like the indirect lighting. Well done. It's good. Looks good. I was considering doing time compression, but I just haven't yet. I could. Well, in actuality, we're about, that puts us, I guess, roughly a little less than an hour out of the area, out of Milan. Forget it. Let's do it. Control T, and I'm doing that twice. My airline's got a restriction that you can't do more than 4x time compression, like a cruise, long cruising, and above that you can actually not get your flight approved, so that's why I'm kind of careful about that. Is anybody here monitoring an Xplane 12 guy? You have a favorite flight sim? Are you on Xplane 12? I'm asking because I'm just curious. You're watching a commercial airline kind of flight, but wondered what your interest was. Is it something you've been flying in or not? Venom, you still with us?
Ataro 229er, contact
Paris Control, Ataro 229er. Good evening at flight level 290.
on my McDo that you see on the screen, you'll notice that distance number on the bottom. This is what you're looking at right there. That puts us about 357 miles to the runway right now. All right, we're getting near 300 miles out, and that means we'll leave with time compression on for about another 100 miles and resume. My next step will be to do the performance numbers for approach and walk through everything. Clicking away. So we had a crisis in the house. We're out of half and half, no cream or half and half in the house. And I had to use 2% milk with cane sugar, and I'm not even a sugar guy in my coffee. So it's really ugh. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and run some numbers. So I'm going to landing performance, and we're going to be on brake mode of medium to land. We're going to reset instead of more time at medium. So let's go to performance. QNH is at arrival is 1024. Temp is 10. Winds are from 340 at 2, just about no winds. And put in baro twice there, so 1, 0, 2, 4. It looks like we're going to be at a VREF, let's say, of 136, approach on about 136. All good. Okay. We're making a turn that's taking us on our approach, where our approach kind of goes around and about. So it does take us around. It looks like it's going on a bypass to go all the way around to get to the runway. That's all right. That's okay. We are about 33, about 55, 60 miles from top of descent right now. We're going to go ahead and let's get an idea of what top of descent looks like our like descent looks like. So it says here, 3,000 is what we're going to use as a reference. Okay. Okay, let's take off the time compression. Gone. And so we'll be descending in a moment. We're going to go ahead and put the seatbelt sign on for the passengers. Descent's coming up in about 2 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our cruising altitude. The seatbelt sign is now off, and you're free to move about the cabin. Our cabin service will begin shortly, and we thank you for your patience. If you need any assistance, please do not hesitate to ask one of our crew members. Enjoy the flight.
It's not exactly what I said. I told you that we're about to get ready to descend, but that's all right. That's all right. We are good. So we got a bunch of people in the plane that are going to the Olympics or either going to see the closing ceremony at the Olympics. Brian, would you do a descent and approach briefing?
We'll be arriving at Linate on runway 35 using the ILS approach. We'll be flying the Topeka 1 Yankee arrival. Transition level is 70. After the star, we'll intercept the ILS to runway 35. Weather at arrival shows calm winds, visibility 10, scattered clouds at 4,000 feet. In the event of a missed approach, we'll follow the published missed approach procedure. Squawk code remains 1715, and approach frequency will be 126.3. We'll configure for landing with flaps 30. Final approach speed will be 135 knots. I think we're ready for the arrival, Captain.
I believe you're correct. Brian, would you please request our clearance to begin our descent on our arrival?
We're currently in cruise, Steve. We'll begin our descent shortly as planned for the Topeka 1 Yankee arrival into Linate.
Would you please get clearance for us to descend on the Topeka 1 Yankee arrival?
We can't request descent clearance yet. We're still in cruise, and ATC will instruct us when to descend for the Topeka 1 Yankee arrival.
Battalion 229, requesting clearance to descend on the Topeka 1 Yankee arrival.
Atero 229er, descend via Topeka 1 Yankee to 3000 into Linate, QNH 1024.
Descend via Topeka 1 Yankee to 3000 into Linate, QNH 1024, IT Arrow 229er.
Atero 229er, contact Milan radar on 135.9er.
I'm not sure why he was pushing back on me to request clearance to say that ATC had to tell us, because that's not how I'm configured even in my ATC, and that's not how ATC does.
Good evening, descending flight level 290.
Don't tell you to start descending. You have to request it.
Lieutenant, please prepare the cab for arrival.
Unless you don't descend one when you're supposed to.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent. At this time, we ask that you kindly begin to recheck the security of your seatbelt. And if you've removed any items from the overhead bins, please begin to restow them at this time.
The use of lavatories
Please check around your seating area and the seat pocket in front of you for any cups, glasses, or other articles you wish to discard. And kindly hand these items to the flight attendants as they make their way through the aisle. Thank you so much. We should be landing in approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
green dot, by the way, on the horizon there. That little green dot above the altitude shows you about where you are on your glide path, like your descent path. It kind of gives you an idea if you're doing good. Like right now we're a hair low, and I'm okay with that.
feet.
Got it. We're on what would be the equivalent of the base leg of our approach. It's kind of funky. You'll see what I mean. He's not going to make us take the long way in.
5,000 feet left heading 075 for the ILS runway 35 approach. QNH 1024. It arrow 229er.
Arrow 229er, contact Milan on 129.825.
Switching to Milan on 129.825. It arrow 229er. Milan, it's arrow 229er. Good evening. Flight level 140 for 5,000.
Arrow 229er, Milan, descend altitude 5,000.
Descending to altitude 5,000. It arrow 229er.
Yeah, he's really cutting down our distance to the runway, so let's see. May have to use some brakes. Yeah, I think I am.
10,000 feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now beginning our final approach into Milano. Please turn off all electronic devices and stow them until we have arrived at the gate. Ensure your tray tables are put away, your seats are in the full upright position, and your seat belts are fastened. The weather in Milano is currently mild. Thank you for your cooperation as we prepare for landing.
Itaro 229er, turn right, heading 100.
100.
Turning right, heading 100. It arrow 229er.
Itaro 229er, descend altitude 4,000 feet, turn right, heading 080.
Descending to 4,000 feet, turning right, heading 080. It arrow 229er.
080 is not right.
Itaro 229er, contact Milan radar on 130.18.
Switching to Milan radar on 130.18. It arrow 229er. Milan radar, Intero 229er. Good evening, descending flight level 070 for 4,000.
Itaro 229er, Milan radar descend, altitude 4,000.
Descending to 4,000. It arrow 229er.
Itaro 229er, proceed direct SORA. Descend altitude 3,000 feet until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 35 approach. Speed below 200 knots until established.
Proceeding direct SORA. Descend to 3,000 feet until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 35 approach. Speed below 200 knots until established. It arrow 229er.
Excuse me. Oh my word. I'm supposed to do that. Don't like that. Okay. See our out in the distance, way out in the distance, the runway. I'm talking way out. And we're lined up on the localizer already, so we're good there.
Ataro 229er, contact Lynate Tower on 118.1.
Switching to Lynate Tower on 118.1. Ataro 229er. Lynate Tower, Ataro 229er. Good evening, established on the ILS runway 35 approach.
Ataro 229er, Lynate Tower, roger, continue approach.
Alright. Brian, do the approach brief.
We'll be arriving at Lynate on runway 35 using the ILS approach. We'll be flying the Topeka 1 Yankee arrival. Transition level is 70. After the star, we'll intercept the ILS to runway 35. Weather at arrival shows calm winds, visibility 10, scattered clouds at 4,000 feet. In the event of a missed approach, we'll follow the published missed approach procedure. Squawk code remains 1715 and approach frequency will be 126.3. We'll configure for landing with flaps 30. Final approach speed will be 135 knots. Once on the ground, we'll be taxiing to gate North Apron 18. I think we're ready for the arrival, Captain.
Okay. We just captured autopilot 2. Oh, my fault. It's not dual channel, it's single channel.
2,500.
Autopilot, so I can't do autopilot 2.
Ataro 229er, winds calm, runway 35, cleared to land.
Landing gear down.
Runway 35, cleared to land. Ataro 229er.
It's crazy, but I've got to forget it. I kind of trying to land with a cat on my console. My work.
1,000.
Approaching runway 35.
100 above. Minimum. $500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard. 10. Retard. 5. Retard.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the captain
Itaro
has
229er, contact ground on 121.8.
sign. This will be your one and only indication that it's safe for you to get up and move about the cabin. Please be reminded to use caution when opening the overhead bins
Arrow
to
229er.
prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during landing. You may now use your mobile phones and other handheld electronic devices
Lean on
while we
ground
taxi
at
to
Arrow
the gate.
229er. Good evening,
However,
clear
your
to
laptop
runway, ready
computers
to
and
taxi
larger
to the gate.
electronics must remain stowed. We invite you
Itaro
to visit
229er,
delta.com for
Lina
other
Tegra,
Ladies and gentlemen,
taxi to North
welcome
Apron Gate
to
18
Milano.
via Golf
Did you
Alpha.
know
Good day.
that Milano is home to the world-famous opera house, La Scala? Thank you
If any of
for
you should
flying
have
with
questions
ITA
regarding
Airways.
ground transportation,
Please
baggage
remain
claim,
seated until we reach our final parking
North
position.
any other
Apron Gate
information,
18
On
you can
behalf
call
of your
Alpha.
flight
Get Arrow
crew,
229er.
thank you for flying with ITA Airways. The local time is 11:58 p.m.
On behalf of Delta Sky Team, our global partners, and flight crew, we'd like to thank you all for flying with us. We've enjoyed having you on board and look forward to the opportunity to serve you once again. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening. Flight attendants, prepare doors for arrival, please. Cross-check and all call.
Park your brake is on. We're going to go. The external power and chocks are in place. External power is on. Engine's to off. Not a great landing, but a good landing. We're fine. We touched down good. Had a little bounce. What do we get knocked off for? Is it the feet per minute? Is it our descent rate? Didn't like something. Our landing distance. Fussed at me about that. Okay. And we're waiting hub approval because I used time compression. It's alright. You want to see a replay? It really wasn't a pretty landing that time. See, I went long. Glided. I floated. But I got stopped. Okay, it's alright. So, not. I don't. In other words, no, I didn't make any passenger scream. It wasn't that bad, but it just could have been better. Could have been. Alright. Alright. Put it in the books. We'll take it regardless.